General MacArthur drops a atomic bomb.
All right, everyone, we're back with Operation Crimson Glory. This is turn one for the Allies. Starting off with purchases, the United States has bought 2 destroyers and a transport. The NATO forces have bought 3 infantry, 3 tanks, a miner factory, a destroyer, and 2 C-47 transports. In the Pacific, the United States has built 1 Marine division, 1 Marine infantry, 1 artillery, 1 transport, and they've bought a miner factory. For the United States, Marine units can be are designated with U.S. Marine Corps markers. And then for SATO, they have bought a miner factory, a C-47 transport, 2 diplomacy dice, and a tech dice, and we'll get those done right off the bat. So, SATO is going to attempt a diplomacy roll against to take Java. So we're looking for a 6, and they got it. So SATO has unlocked Java. We'll get a marker on that soon, and that'll put them up for IPC. And then coming over here to my my neutrals chart here, let's see, Java will also unlock them 3 extra infantry. So SATO will now have 3 infantry on Java. And then going over to the tech rolls. Apologies, we've been doing some work with fixing up our techs. Our tech trees and stuff like that. Let's see here. And then SATO is going to attempt a tech roll against the war bonds. Alright, we're looking for a 6. And they failed. So that is all the tech and diplomacy rolls. Going into it next, looking at the attacks. Quickly, we have the United States launching an air raid against the Soviet transport in C-Zone 5. A U.S. fighter launching a raid against the Chinese transport in C-Zone, well, technically that's C-Zone 20. We're hoping to get a new map soon. A new map printed out with all new C-Zones and everything. Well, actually it'll be a whole new map in general. Then we have this American B-29 attacking the Chinese factory here in Kiangsi, trying to get the Chinese to spend some IPC there to fix it. SATO is going to counterattack in Myanmar and try and destroy the Chinese forces there. They'll be bringing in their forces from Thailand, East Pakistan, and the artillery from North Indochina. And finally, NATO is going to try and counterattack the Soviets in Greece, try and close off the Dardanelles so the Soviets can't come swarming into the Mediterranean. And so we'll slowly get these set up, and we'll get ready to go. Okay, so we are back, everyone. We're back with Operation Crimson Glory. Turn 1 for the Allies, going into the attacks now. So right off the bat, again, we have this fighter attacking this transport, which is in Axis and Allies rules, it's an automatic kill. Same with the attack on this transport here, which is an automatic kill. Now we'll go over to the strategic bombing raid over here on Kiangsi. So there is an anti-aircraft gun, so we'll roll that and see if the strategic bomber survives. And it does. That is a 2. So then the strategic bomber will roll its damage. It's a minor, so it can only have up to 6. Only 2. So that's 2 damage for that miner factory. Continuing off, now we'll go to the attack on Myanmar, which I have set up on the battle board over here. So looks like SATO's starting off with 3 infantry for 1. There's a hit. Then they're going, so then they got 2 infantry and artillery for 2. That's another hit. And then Sato has 1 fighter for 4. There's a hit. So that's 3 hits to the Chinese. So that's all the Chinese infantry. And then China will fire back for 4 for 2. And they got 2 hits. So Sato will we'll have Sato continue the assault. So now we're looking at 1 for 1. Oh, they got it. And the Chinese artillery will shoot back and they got a hit too. Well, Sato has reconquered Myanmar. That's 1 away from China. And that's 1 for Sato. I'll get take a quick break. I'll get the pieces back on the board and we'll get set up for the attack on Greece. All right, and now setting up for the Battle of Greece. The Allies do have a cruiser and battleship, so we'll get those offshore bombardments done. So cruiser, miss, battleship. That's a hit. So that's 1 Russian tank destroyed. So let's see. NATO is now attacking with 2 infantry for 1. Nope. Then, oops, sorry. They got a fighter for 3. Nope. And a strategic bomber for 4. And they got it. That's both Russian tanks, and they'll fire back for 3. Ooh, 2 hits. Oof. Let's see here. I'll have to decide. I might have to sacrifice. Well, 1 will at least. We'll have to sacrifice the aircraft so we can at least take Greece. So not the results we wanted for this battle, but NATO does take Greece away from the Soviets. So that is -2 for Russia and +2 for NATO. So that will be the end of the combat. We'll we'll go through, do the non-combat moves, and we'll be back with the results and an overview of the map. So looking at the end of turn 1 for the Allies, the Allies are preparing a sea convoy to get their troops over to Europe. The United States has moved ahead and has started moving the 82nd Airborne into position to attack. The Allies have moved to try and reinforce Norway to keep the Russians at bay. They've moved some extra aircraft into Denmark and moved the destroyer into the Baltic to try and stop the Russian, or at least to hold up the Russians, so if they attempt an amphibious assault, they don't get the offshore bombardment. They have deployed their troops in the UK, France, and southern Italy. Starting to move around. They put that miner. The NATO put that miner in Israel, so they can start building out of there. Over in Asia, Sato has put their miner on Malaya and have slowly moved to reinforce Southeast Asia and reinforce bits of Hong Kong, and start getting some of their troops moving north. The United States getting their stuff headed for Japan. They built a decent-sized fleet here, trying to get over to Japan. They've dropped the 2nd Marine Division and their artillery here in the west, and moved stuff up into Alaska. And they dropped their miner factory here on Japan. So that is the end of turn 1 for the Allies, and we'll be back later with turn 2 for the Communists.